Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, looking at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hello and welcome back. I'm your hostess, Kristen Hessler, and I'm here with my co-hosts Amber Garvin and Cindy Murray.
Hey,
Howdy.
everyone.
If this is your first time joining us, we're glad to have you here. And if you're returning, then welcome back. So this week, we have a fun little topic, kind of like a pop culture topic today. We wanted to talk about superpowers and just kind of run through a couple of questions and just open topic about what would your superpower be like and stuff like that. Just kind of fun. It's one of those things like if you've watched any of the fantasy, like comic book story plots, like
DC
Iron Man and
Comics
stuff
or
like that.
Marvel,
It's kind of
yeah.
fun to look and be like, ooh, would you like to have that superpower? Or, and there's different ways that we acquire superpowers. So we'll kind of discuss all of that. But I thought it would be kind of fun just to open it up and start off with, what is your real life superpower?
Ooh. I'm going to throw in there that mine is organization because I am an organizer at heart. A lot of people think I'm not organized, but I organize events. I'm good at planning and organizing and all that stuff. I really think that's my superpower.
She answered that so quickly. She's for sure about it.
I know that one. I know that one.
Mine would definitely be, and I've been told this before, like my very first day teaching ever, I was told this, but infinite amount of patience.
Wow.
That is my, it takes a lot for me to lose my patience.
So you could be so patient that you could hold off the bad guy with your patience, right? You could
Yes,
just outwait him.
I would just wait them
him
out.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, I don't know how my
stare at 'em
organization would
and
help,
wait
but
them out.
maybe I would be the strategist among all of this group of superheroes, the Super Friends or whatever, or the Justice League, or I could just be the organizer of
I
go
would
here,
be
you go
the-
there, yeah.
Like, I guess, the stakeout person,
like on
the
Charlie's
waiter.
Angels, you'll be like the guy who tells them where to go and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of our little superhero group, she's the Bosley, and I'm the one that does the stakeouts. So what are you, Christian? Kristen.
Wow.
So
I know.
It's
I
late.
can't.
I know.
I
We're
can't talk
tired.
anymore.
I'm one of those people where like I can do a lot of things, but I'm not like really good at anything like that I could think of.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I mean that's not really superpower.
Well, but
I
there
would
are
say
some superpowers. I mean, look at the movie Hero or the TV show Heroes. Okay.
I would say maybe I'm really good at seeing through people and
Oh yeah.
bull. I can see right through people's bull.
Well, yeah. I think that's a good superpower. That could be good, helpful. No, what I was thinking when you say that you're not good at anything, or you're good at a lot of little things or whatever. You remember the character Peter in Heroes?
Mm-hmm.
He thought that he could fly. He thought that was his superpower.
He absorbed other powers.
He absorbed other powers, yeah. And so that was his
Well,
thing.
I do absorb other people's moods, but I don't really think of
Well-
that as like a superpower.
Well, that would
because
be
I
your
feel like it's my
negative
kryptonite.
superpower, maybe.
Yeah.
So your dangerous bad thing. Yeah.
See, I do that too. I definitely absorb other people's moods.
Mm.
Yeah. So, like you were saying, dangerous bad thing. What is a funny, anticlimactic, or useless anti-superpower?
I'm bossy. I'm very bossy, but that goes with my organization. So that's a pretty good superpower on me.
I would say it never fails. Anytime I cook, the smoke alarm goes off. Like, if I make toast in the toaster, the smoke alarm goes off.
Oh,
There have been times where I didn't even have the oven or the stove. No, like the oven was on, but there was no food in it, and the stove was not on, and the smoke alarm went off. It never fails. Every time I cook, the smoke alarm goes off.
So that would save the world by you just go turn the stove on, and the smoke alarm will chase the bad guys out of the building. Maybe they'll be afraid it's on fire.
Right?
Sure.
I don't know.
I can burn invisible food.
Okay, I have another one that goes with I talk too much. So when I was in grade school, all of my report cards said talks too much. So I'm thinking that would be one of them. I could just talk them to death while Amber's waiting them out.
There we go.
Or maybe it'll be me and Amber against each other, and I'll just talk her to death, and she'll just wait me out,
waiting her turn patiently.
Well, see, I guess my stupid one would be like the brain bit stupid facts. Stupid random facts.
Oh, the Clavin.
Yeah, knowing super stupid random facts about anything. Like, my dad would always call me at random times if he'd be talking about a movie at work, and I was his authority on any kind of stupid fact for a movie.
Oh.
Maybe because I was in film school. I don't know.
So, what real superpower would you want to have?
Oh, this one's tough. There are so many that I would want to have, but I think that probably invisibility would be definitely something.
So you could do nefarious things without being caught?
Yeah, pretty much. It's where I could. No, I'm not going to say it, but maybe, yeah.
Now you got me curious.
But definitely like invisibility. The bad guy wouldn't see me coming.
That's an interesting one. Yeah. I thought about this one, and I almost stopped at telepathy because I want to know what people are thinking. But then I thought, do I really? What I want, what it boils down to is, I want to be a lie detector. I want to know the truth. So if somebody's saying something to me, I want to know actually what the truth is,
that has
and
a
whether they're
bad
lying.
side to it.
Well, not for me. Well, maybe.
If no one could talk to you without giving you like the honest to God truth, then they would tell you things you wouldn't want to hear.
This is
Where
true.
would they know when to stop? Like, there would,
I hate that dress you're wearing. It literally looks ugly on you. It makes your boobs too big and your butt too big and
Maybe telepathy. Well, I don't know.
But see, that's
'cause
telepathy.
If you
it's
hear
with
everybody's
telepathy.
thoughts, then you would definitely hear things that you don't
want
want
to
to
hear. Well, and that's the thing, in a lot of movies where they talk about where somebody has telepathy, the telepathy drives that person crazy.
Right.
Because they can't turn it off.
Right. And they suffer from the discomfort until they learn how to control it.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing too, like, if you had the power of truth, what someone thinks is the truth isn't necessarily the truth. So do you really want to know what they think is the truth, or do you just really want to know
the truth?
The truth.
Like
and that's a fine line and to distinguish there. And I don't know. I think I want to know what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's 42.
It's 42
from Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh yes, okay.
Oh, she didn't get the sci-fi reference.
I know. I'm sorry, and I have read that book. I really have, but it was a long time ago, and I'm old. I'm the crone. No, I don't know. To me, all superpowers are a double-edged sword. Because they all.
You could do bad things or good things.
You could do bad things. You could do good things, and one of I think in a lot of movies, a lot of superheroes toy with the idea of, they go from abusing power, and sometimes they want to give up the power and just be a normal person, because sometimes that burden is too much. And I think all of them, do it. Clark Kent went into his Superman persona and flew up to his little cave, or whatever, his ice cave or whatever it was, to think about his time with Lois Lane,
Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude. Thank you. I could not. I'm old.
I don't know you.
I know. I'm so sorry. I can't.
Ice cave.
I can't. But he went to his Fortress of Solitude to think, and he was seriously considering just becoming, letting her know who he was and stuff. He was tortured by that.
He had really high standards.
Well, he did have really high standards. I don't think Batman really toyed with the idea of giving his up, but because he was just so consumed with vengeance. But
and the argument some people have is that Batman doesn't actually have a superpower. He just has a lot of money. And
his superpower is being rich.
Which is the same, it could be said of Tony Stark. He doesn't really have a superpower either, except that it's his brain.
He's very smart.
He's
and very rich.
smart.
Very smart, very rich. Can build a suit.
Yeah.
Technology.
And same thing of the Black Widow. She does not have a
really
superpower.
well.
She's just really well trained.
Yeah.
And Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's really good with the bow and arrow.
Yeah. That could be a superpower. I don't know. I'm kind of...
To be honest, I don't know enough about Hawkeye's story to know how
I don't either, and I have not watched
shot.
that series
so,
yet.
we would have to... Okay, Green Arrow, then.
I don't watch that one either.
Okay, so we would have to go into, what makes a superpower a superpower. Is it something supernatural?
Right.
Or is it something natural?
Right. Well, because those people, some of those that you listed are superheroes. They're just super awesome heroes. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then y'all are the ones that started talking about Batman, so I was just listing other...
Well, I was
but you have a good point. What is a superpower? Is it something supernatural? That's kind of what I imagine. When we talk about different types of superpowers, true. I think of invisibility, telekinesis.
Okay. Super strength,
telepathy,
X-ray vision.
Right.
And you're talking about superpowers. Let's go back to the series Heroes. Those people had superpowers by that standard. One could manipulate time. One could fly. One could absorb other people. One could heal.
If we're going to talk about the powers from Heroes, I would definitely be the time manipulator. That would totally be
that
my
one
thing.
is really cool.
Or the one that absorbs Peter, the one that would absorb the other powers.
Yeah. I really, really loved that series.
I did too.
I was so sad when it went away.
Well, season 1 of the series. Season 2 was pretty good too, but season...
Yeah, it started getting a little bit weird.
Getting weird,
but, Zachary Quinto...
Celebrity Crush episode.
Milo...
Ventimiglia, I think his last name.
Ventimiglia, I think is... I don't know. So I cannot pronounce his name. I cannot.
We're Texan. We can't pronounce stuff.
The... Peter's brother, and I can't remember his name either. He's married to one of the Dixie Chicks.
Adrian something.
Yeah, maybe. Easy there with that.
Sorry.
But, I just loved the actors in that show were fabulous. The production was fabulous, and they had great superpowers, and it was really good about showing... The positive,
good and the bad,
the good and the bad.
They put a lot of thought and effort into the first season of that show.
Yes.
The second season started out good, but then it got messed up by the writer's strike.
Yes.
And then it
that's
just went
right. That
downhill
was during the
then.
writer's strike.
Yeah.
So, if I had to have a real superpower, I was thinking originally it would be cool to control people, like to have people do like, what I wanted them to do, but that's kind of evil. I mean, when you think about that, making people do something against their will is not nice. But that would be awesome. If I just to like, hey, go get me this, or hey, do that for me. That would be like rad, right? So then I thought, okay, what's another way to solve that problem? Like, what it is I want to be able to do a lot of things or get stuff done or whatever. So I thought, well, if I could like split myself into two and have two of me doing things, I could get things done twice as fast. Or
I think isn't there a superhero that does things
Multiple
like that?
Man off X-Men.
Oh, is that what it?
Okay.
See, and my
I'm
X-Men is
nerd.
limited to the Saturday afternoon cartoon series, and the handful of few movies and I haven't even seen all of the movies.
Well,
either,
I'm sure there are other superheroes that could multiply themselves. I think there's even one on Heroes that could.
Probably. I know that I'm kind of thinking there were, and that one is a good one. I like that one. Mine when I was thinking about something. I also thought about being able to do something like Bewitched or I Dream of Jeannie, where they can just make things happen just by snapping their finger or wiggling their nose or whatever, and they can make things appear. And conjuring, yes, or something like that, or teleport themselves to somewhere else.
I would totally do that to save some time.
But the Conjuring,
I would be late
to
really teleporting instantaneously.
Yes.
I would be late.
I like the idea of Conjuring because then you could do away with Uber Eats and all those really expensive delivery services. You wouldn't have to go to the grocery store. You just go pink, and there's your pantry's full. And you could just blink your eyes and your toilet is scrubbed. And all those things that we were talking about in the motivation
house
episode,
cleaning
the house cleaning
that
stuff
nobody wants to do.
That nobody wants to do. I could just and it's done. I think that would be good. But I also think that one could be dangerous in a way because you would be tempted to just sit around and do nothing and blink your eyes and there it is or whatever.
Right. So I was actually thinking about what would be a really dangerous one because originally I was like, oh, I just want to snap and any food that I want appears. And then I realized, wow, that would be really dangerous. Snap tacos, snap Wendy's shake, snap refill on my coffee.
Oh, yeah. And then you're like, having more struggles with weight than you already are.
Right, because I'm not at that point. I'm not even getting up to go to the kitchen.
No,
and I'm getting it all delivered.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You get zero exercise, so maybe that's not a good one.
And then having too many choices, know, and unlimited. Yeah. Here's the question too: when you conjure something up like that, where is it coming from? Is that considered stealing?
Right, I know. Did you?
Because you're not paying for it.
You are making it out of thin air.
Maybe. Are you?
Well, no, because energy cannot be created or destroyed. So it's coming from somewhere. And any superpower that someone has comes from something. There's an essence or something that they have to spend in order to get that superpower. They expel energy or something in order to produce that result. Like, I'm trying to think of one, for instance, like, I'm drawing a blank of any in particular, but, just imagine, like, if they had to do something super powerful, it would take all of their energy and then they would be spent or wiped out,
Mental energy.
Yeah, there's repercussions for using your power.
Well, and that's where, like I say, sometimes there's the positive and the negative. Sometimes either the negative is some kind of repercussion for using it, or it's so easy to abuse that there are, repercussions from that. Like Hero in Heroes, his repercussion was sometimes he made a change and it made things worse.
Yeah.
When he was meddling with time. You don't know what the outcome of your alteration is going to be. There's danger in doing, because you don't know when you point your energy or your superpower at someone else, you don't know how it's going to react or interact with them, and what changes. It's kind of like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Sort of, if you kill a butterfly on the other side of the world, what kind of repercussions does it have, later down the line? And those, you just don't know. And
right. And that's where I was like, "Ooh, yeah, I want to be able to control people and they'll do whatever I want." And then I realized, "Oh, wow, you're taking away someone's free will. That's like slavery." And then what happens, when do you stop at just one person,
Yeah.
And you have like 2 people, and then you have 50 people, and then you have a whole state.
And you're controlling people. And what happens if you're wrong? If you're controlling them and making them do things because you think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, even if it was good.
Wrong?
Right. Even if you thought that it was the right thing to do and like you were making them do good things, what if it's wrong? Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Wow. I just want to be invisible and not have to be around people.
But what kind
without them looking at me.
But here's the repercussions of that. Obviously you can use
I could go power hungry and like start sneaking
spying
into
on
people
and
and
on
that's
people
where I feel like when you are invisible, everyone has the freedom to be alone. Well, except for some people who are not able to be alone, like if they're incarcerated or something. But almost every single person on this planet has at least some piece of moment in their day where they are able to be alone. If you are invisible, you are violating that alone time that they think they're alone.
Right. Well, and then there's also the thought, if you're invisible and you're, standing in someone's path and they run into you and you cause them to fall down, you've injured someone by your invisibleness.
True.
I mean, that's a small, minor thing, but it still is the possibility that your being invisible could cause an accident to happen in some way. And, and you don't know what the severity of that would be.
And then what if you're invisible and then people are saying things that you didn't want to hear or shouldn't have heard? Oh, that's
bad too, yeah.
Yeah.
You might be tempted to spy on people just to see what they, be that fly on the wall,
yeah.
And then is that going to change the way you feel about that person?
Right. And then also, like, as a teacher, are you thinking like, oh, I'm going to tell the students to behave. I'm going to go make a copy, because I remember teachers used to do that. I'm going to go make a copy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. I remember they used to do that when I was in school. And then they put one person in charge of reporting anybody that,
Yeah,
and
we're not supposed to do
but
that.
But just imagine, like, if you did that and then you left the room or, became invisible and came back and spied on them, that's in a way like, what's the end game? Are you doing it to, no, I'm saying not you, but would you be doing it to be like, ha ha, I caught you on purpose? Or
but that would be entrapment.
Entrapment,
we're kind of going in a weird direction of this, because like this was supposed to be a fun topic of like, oh hey, if I was
that
a
was
superhero,
just one of my questions.
But
is
now
the
it's
dangerous.
like, now it's like kind of like the dark side of having superpowers and like how you could. And when I said invisibility, I didn't even
indivisibility.
Yeah, that exactly. When I said invisibility, I didn't even think of any of this stuff that y'all are coming at me like, oh, this is what you would do or whatever. I'm not saying that you're saying I would do that. I'm just saying, like, I didn't even think about
because my
that.
wild mind, like,
like I
goes
was
through
just
all the
thinking
what
of,
ifs.
like,
Oh, I do
you know?
too.
yeah, I was just thinking of, like, okay, I could serve my
Okay.
team with invisibility. They wouldn't see me coming trying to stake out the bad guy or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Entrapment. No. No. Okay, here's a fun one. Like, I guess it would be really cool if I could just flip through a book really fast like they do in
And
some of
read
those
it?
movies and
Oh,
read
yeah,
it
read it.
and
Yeah.
understand
And
it.
understand it. Yeah.
really fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
like
oh my
a
gosh, I could just
super,
read so many books.
Oh.
absorption of facts. Just like
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
everything.
But
Ooh,
wouldn't
or
that take the pleasure out of reading, though? Sorry, I had to go dark again.
Slowly. I do enjoy reading slowly because I've been, the more that I read, the faster I read. And I find that the faster I read a book, the less I
Enjoy it.
absorb
Right.
of the book. And like I've been reading this really long book series, and now that it's been that I finished the current books, it's been a few months since I read one of them, and I was going back because a new one just came out, and I was like, God, I don't remember who that character was. And I'm like, wow,
Did
they're
you
in
read it
like
so
half
fast?
of the books. Yeah, but I read it so fast that I'm like, huh?
You forgot their
And I
name
do
or
that with
whatever.
Netflix too. I'll binge watch it so fast that I don't remember every little
Right.
detail about it. So it's kind of a superpower. It would be cool, but it also has its limitations.
Yeah, it would be cool for learning purposes, but for recreational purposes.
Yeah, that's really
think
what I
would-
want is
yeah.
just like learning and
Yeah.
stuff. But I don't know. I'd probably use it for recreation too. But another fun one I think that would be interesting would be able to like touch an item and then like see the item through space and time, like its
It's
experience,
history or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
like where people have touched it, or
I think I've seen that superhero power, or I don't know if it was a superhero. It might have been magic.
right,
And
yeah.
a lot of times,
It's an intuitive type thing,
Right,
yeah.
right. And it's hard to talk about superpowers without talking about magical gifts, because really technically magical gifts are also
Right.
superpowers.
Yes,
They're just looked at from a less scientific perspective, I guess.
less
So-
sci-fi fantasy,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know. There's so many things, I don't know. I'm kind of chicken. I would be afraid to want any, I look at things like, okay, run fast. Well, what would I do with that? Fly. What would I do with that? I don't
be
have
cool.
to faddle. I faddle.
I know. I was like, "What word is that?" I was legit like, "Ooh, I learned a new word today," or I'm about to learn a new word.
I don't have to battle. I tell you, I'm like all over the place right now.
Fiddle faddle.
Fiddle faddle. But I don't have to battle any bad guys. There's no super villains in real life. So, and I wouldn't want to live in a world where there were super villains. We have enough villainy as it is, so
Yeah, but like
Right.
all light has to have a darkness. So if there were superpowers, there
there
would be
super
supervillains.
villains, because
Right.
it is human nature in
To
a way
go-
for people to misuse power and stuff. So
In a bad way, yeah.
yeah, so I'm thinking, what, breathe underwater? I don't know.
I mean, it would be cool, when you go scuba diving and stuff.
Right.
But
I'm just trying to think of all the superpowers that we know of, and would I want any of them? The girl on Heroes, played by, I cannot remember her name, the little blonde girl.
Nikki, oh, the girl, the cheerleader,
Yes,
who's
the
like
chil-
Yeah,
She could heal.
Indestructible, yeah.
She was
Yeah,
indestructible.
live forever.
That one might be okay, not to live forever, but to be indestructible or to heal.
Well, you
because
remember the blonde guy? He was around when Hero went back in time, and he was indestructible, and he ended up being alive thousands of years later.
In one of the time.
Okay, yeah.
That was like season 2.
Yeah, I don't remember that part, but that is interesting.
But he lived forever because he healed and healed,
And healed,
and he never
He was
aged
still there,
because, he
Yeah.
healed.
And I would not want to live forever. And you talk about that, I've watched too much of The Highlander to see how sad that ends. I don't want to live forever. I don't want to see all the people that I love die and still remain. So that I definitely would not want that one. But to heal my injuries at will, not automatically, maybe at will. That might be kind of cool because, then I could get rid of the diabetes and the breast cancer and the whatever else is plaguing me at the moment.
Oh, right. Like if you could just sit down and meditate and close your eyes and think really hard about it, you could
And then
heal
I could
yourself.
just heal whatever it was.
No kidding.
That would be a great superpower. Or to heal other people.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there is a cost there. So like, in a lot of, cultures or, alternate realities or whatever, there's often a healer is one of the characters, and that character, in order to heal other people, they expend their own life force.
See, that's what I'm talking about. There's a cost.
There's a cost to you for that. So
right,
the
even
more you,
Reiki, which is something that we have, it's a type of healing where laying of hands, where you
Right.
like lay your hands over someone. They are giving their energy
Their
to
life
that
energy,
person.
yes.
Yeah, and it's exhausting.
yes. So yeah, that, I mean, it does, and you would have to have some way to replenish that energy. But I think those would be cool superpowers, or to be able to commute poison into something that's safe, so in that case, converting radioactivity or toxic waste, any kind of toxic waste, and convert it into something more useful for the planet or whatever. But that also, I think, would expend a great deal of energy. But those would be kind of cool superpowers because you could use them to help other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's where this thing with superpowers thing comes from. Is it's first we think about like, oh, what can I have that serves me,
Right.
and then the other superpowers that may not serve you well serve other people. Like if you could swim in the ocean without needing, if you could breathe the water of the ocean. That would be a great superpower for leisure every once in a while, but it would
Right.
also be a fantastic one for someone to clean the ocean.
Oh, yes. If you had a whole army of people who could breathe underwater.
Not only does the superpower cost your energy, but it also takes your time too, because there's an obligation and a duty to use your superpower. Maybe
Right.
that's why we don't have superpowers, because we can't even manage our own normal everyday lives.
Or
that's
if
true.
superpowers do exist, people are keeping them under wraps.
Yeah. Well, would you want to tell somebody if you had a superpower?
Well, no,
What
it'd be
would-
just like if you were an alien, you wouldn't tell anybody that you were an alien.
Right. Well, because we've all seen enough sci-fi to know what happens to that person.
Or,
They get
if you
dissected,
had
yeah.
magical abilities, you wouldn't tell anybody you had
No.
magical abilities. Or if you were a vampire, you wouldn't tell anybody unless you were feasting on them that you were a vampire.
I'm a vampire.
That is not a superpower I want.
My
either.
superpower is I'm a delicious burrito. Please don't eat me.
I am a potato.
Oh my God. I don't know why when you said that there's a TikTok thing. I'm a potato.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. That little dog.
That little
I'm a
dog laying there
potato.
all curled up. You can't see its legs. I'm a potato.
Oh, so that's where Jason gets it from when he sees my cats like that. He goes,
Yes.
"That cat is a potato."
And you're like, what?
Go look it up. You'll find
now,
it.
now I
It's
understand.
a reel or
It's
a
really
TikTok.
cute. Yeah.
I'm a potato. Oh, that was way off topic anyway. So
Yeah. But anyways, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Any other superpowers that you can think of that you wanted to mention?
No, I'm good.
I'm at a loss. I am.
I mean, I can think of them, but like
As
none
soon
that
as
I want to talk about.
As soon as we hit the unrecord, the stop button, we're gonna be like, "Oh, I just thought of one." So
Well,
whatever.
and the thing to me, I think, is that every time I think of one, I immediately start thinking of why I don't want it.
I know. I talk myself out of it. That's interesting. I wonder what,
But again, it goes to that thing: do superheroes really want the power, or is it just foisted on them and they feel compelled to use
obligated to use it.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
I mean, look at Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Any of them.
any of them.
Any person that
really.
has some special skill is almost like they are compelled to share their skill with the world, or other people are like, hey, you need to share this with the world because the world needs to know.
Right.
But do they?
I don't know.
That's
I guess we'll
important.
continue the conversation on our MMC chat. And don't forget to check out the blog. If you're only listening to the podcast, you're only getting one part of the story. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up for this week. What are we talking about next week?
We are going to talk about, do I take a shower or brush my teeth? Now, I know you're going, what?
Both or neither?
Both,
Right?
neither. Just to briefly put this out there, I saw Tyra Banks one time on a talk show, and she was talking to the host, and they were whatever, and she was talking about how sometimes she's so busy or she's so stressed that she only has time to do one, and she has to make that judgment call: do I take a shower or do I brush my teeth?
She
And,
could
she's
just brush her
using
teeth
that
while
for
she's showering.
she's using that figuratively.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
so
really get
that's I kind of want to get into that that being so busy that you have to make that choice of, do I do this or do I do that, when it's really something you should be doing both of or whatever. So so that's kind of where we're going. So the title of the episode is, do I take a shower or do I brush my teeth? And we'll take it from there. It's going to be a very interesting conversation, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I look
Looking
forward
forward
to
to
it.
that.
Yeah. So we would like to give special thanks to Red Door Studios and Creative Audio Tech for our music and recording equipment. We'd also like to thank our listeners. Again, thank you so much. And do please share if you liked this podcast, this episode, or any of the other ones. Definitely share if you find that one of them might be good for a friend or something. Share it with your friend. And we would be so thankful for that. And also give us a good rating. And we will pick this conversation up next week with toothbrush or shower.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye.